What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to another video here on Anfield Agenda. The big breaking news today is that Liverpool's game against Manchester City at the Etihad, which takes place immediately after the November international break, has been moved. It was scheduled to be a 5:30 p.m. Saturday evening kickoff. It is now, guess what? That's right, a 12:30 kickoff, meaning that after September, October and November, Liverpool's players have the shortest recovery time once again. Every single international window has seen Liverpool come back to a 12:30 kickoff. So over the next 8 minutes or so, I'm going to give you my take on why I think that that's ludicrous and why this is far more than a coincidence. Of course, we want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video, and if you enjoy it, hit that subscribe button. So look, let's get the numbers first of all. Paul Joyce tweeted out earlier on to say that this is the 14th occasion under Jurgen Klopp's tenure as Liverpool manager that Liverpool will be asked to play a 12:30 p.m. kickoff following an international break. Now, the reaction that I normally get is, but doesn't this balance itself out? Aren't everybody being asked to do the same thing? The biggest team next to us, or I mean the next highest amount of games played by a club, is Spurs. Guess how many Spurs have played? 6, and they're the next highest after us. So this isn't just Liverpool fans, myself included, once again complaining. It is a clear and constant undermining of Liverpool Football Club. This has been changed because the Manchester police have decided, along with those that come into the safety of the games, they've decided that we can't possibly have a 5:30 p.m. kickoff between Manchester City and Liverpool because of previous instances. And I'm not here to justify or to add any credibility to criminal acts or thuggish behaviour. It should be removed from the game. There's no place for it. But you cannot tell me that this doesn't stink. Arsenal and Brentford, I believe, were scheduled to play the 12:30 kickoff. And guess what they're doing? They've switched with the broadcasters. So BT, or TNT as they're now known, will be covering the Arsenal-Brentford game. That is going to be a 5:30 p.m. kickoff on the Saturday, and we're now going to have the 12:30 p.m. game. So, as I've mentioned, 14 times, 8 more than any other Premier League club since Jurgen Klopp has come in. Why is that? Are we just so popular for these time frames that they think, well, Liverpool fans will watch in droves? Well, social media would show you that as an example. United are far more active in their fan bases in social media, so no, it's not that. It is clear undermining of Liverpool. There can be no other reason for it. And again, what other club has had to do this? September international break, we come back. October one, the one we're currently on, we play Everton at 12:30. And now, a massive game against Manchester City, and they're giving us less recovery time again. It almost feels like they don't want anyone to challenge Manchester City. It almost feels like we're being shafted. But, of course, we will receive the usual smart aleck replies from people telling us to grow up, to stop complaining, to ask for a replay. All the things that you expect and all the things that will come and happen once we start complaining about this. But how about looking at it objectively and asking yourself, hang on a minute, it is a bit unfair that Liverpool's players, some of whom will have to travel from South America, from Africa and from all parts of the world, getting in late on the Thursday night into the Friday morning, very little recovery time, and are jet lagged. And people say, but it's only 5 hours. 5 hours doesn't make much difference. Really? Ask any doctor, ask any physiotherapist, ask anybody associated with any athletes if 5 hours extra rest or sleep makes a difference. Ask Jurgen Klopp or any manager if an extra 5 hours to prepare with the players would make a difference. Of course it would. All of this just undermines Liverpool once again. So in a time where we've just seen us robbed of a perfectly good goal, have 4 red cards in the season within the first 7 games, where we've been top of the Fair Play League for the previous 5 years under Jurgen Klopp, it can't always be that Liverpool fans are just complaining. It can't always be that we're just moaning. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, it stinks. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, something isn't right here. And when you've got the likes of Paul Joyce pointing these things out, 14 occasions we've been asked to play this game, 8 more than any other club, it stinks. Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta and before them United managers have all complained about this kickoff time, and they're right to do it. But this is just adding insult to injury. And look, this isn't the PGMOL this time, but the police are once again forcing the issue, making Liverpool play at 12:30. We can't move the game to a Sunday because Manchester City have a Champions League game, I believe, on the Tuesday. I'm absolutely fine with that. That makes sense. It wouldn't be fair to Manchester City. But how about looking after Liverpool's interests just once, giving Liverpool a chance to actually compete? I'm baffled as to why there seems to be this willingness, particularly in the media, to want to see Manchester City do well, not to hold them to account for their other bits and bobs. Sky announced this today, like we should be grateful for it. Guess what? Sky are showing Liverpool Manchester City a 12:30 kickoff. It stinks. It's unfair. And once again, we Liverpool fans are going to have to sound the alarm and remind people that it might be us getting shafted this time, but it will eventually come around to other clubs. So we want to know what you guys feel about this. How are you feeling about 14 times? 14! It's crazy! I'm doing my best not to shout and swear here because I'm on holidays and I don't want to be that guy. But right now, it feels like we're being undermined at every opportunity. As I've mentioned, red cards galore, goals perfectly ruled out, and now less recovery time once again. But we're being told to just get on with it, to just shut up and stop complaining. I don't feel like stopping complaining. I feel like highlighting this every single time it happens because it isn't fair. Surely people can see that this... I've got United mates who are messaging me saying this is madness. This is a concerted effort clearly to undermine Liverpool. And I know, I recorded a TikTok earlier on and I read through the comments and it's just a who's who of stop moaning, Scousers this, Scousers that, blah, blah, blah. Does anybody look out for the game? Does anybody at all look out for the integrity of the game? Because I tell you what, it feels like as a Liverpool fan, our boys just aren't getting the opportunity to perform at their best. Alexis McAllister, Lucho Diaz, Alisson, Darwin, Mohamed Salah, all probably going to have long trips to make to get back. And it's not us only. Every club, of course, that has international players will face these problems. But it feels like we're getting more than our fair share of problems. Liverpool are being undermined at every single opportunity. I mean, 3 international breaks in a row, 3 12:30 kickoffs in a row. It stinks. And I'm going to keep calling it out. And I'm going to keep speaking up. And I don't care how many people tell me to shut up. And I don't care how many people tell me I'm salty. Because I know I'm right. They know I'm right. And I'm certain that my fellow Liverpool fans will feel exactly the same way I do. 5 hours is a long time for recovery. 5 hours extra sleep could make a big difference to those players. Just look at the performance that Alexis McAllister put in when we came back from the international break. He was shot. He had come from playing at a high altitude with his national team, absolutely shot. Came on, you couldn't recognise the player that played the first half, and he was taken off. So you tell me that that has no impact? Of course it has an impact. And this is just handing an advantage once again to other clubs. In this instance, it's not really handing Manchester City an advantage because their players will be in the same position as ours. And I do understand that and I do appreciate that. But they haven't had to do it 14 times over the past few years. 8 more than any other club. It stinks and it's got to be called out. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. I hope that you know, as a Liverpool fan, I'm going to always speak out for the club that I support. But if I'm fuming, I'm seething, and I'm struggling not to swear during this video, because right now, my friends, it really does feel like they just don't want us to do well. Klopp can't speak out. If he does speak out, gets fined. Other managers, no problem. Other players, absolutely. Call for players to be booked, no yellows. Our boys do it, here's the yellow. Jota sent off. The investigation of the PGMOL said, no red card for Jota. That second shouldn't have been a yellow, but nothing we can do about it. Jones challenge, very similar to other ones, but of course, our boy gets punished. And we've seen Howard Webb come on mic'd up. We've seen them discuss the offside goal, but we didn't see them discuss in any way, shape or form the still image that was met when the referee Simon Hooper went over. These are things that we as Liverpool fans pick up on. There are things that other clubs fans are, of course, going to say, you're looking for problems. But when you add them all up, and as I've said before, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. So for me, my friends, quack. This absolutely drives me insane. We want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Do you agree, or am I looking for something that isn't there? I'm absolutely open to being told I'm a lunatic. It happens all the time. My wife tells me it every week. And also, thank you for those that watched last night's video with Robbo. I do appreciate it. I read through the comments, replied to as many as I can. Just confirm, I don't own this house. You see the pool behind me and all, it's a holiday rental. I wish I owned this house. I truly do. Someday, maybe. But now, it's just hoop dreams really, isn't it? So look, my friends, I will talk to you soon. Much love. I won't say I won't speak to you before I come back from holidays, because who knows what's going to happen. This international break has a habit of handing us problems. Robbo, I hope he gets better soon. You guys, I hope that you're all well. I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.